It'll be. Oh, suspense music. Listen well. The spy we've been seeking all this time is none other than Flame Marshal Aline. Oh, hey, the chick that was just on the bridge. Robon's second in command. Spicy. It's juicy. Prior to joining the Immortal Flames, she was a mercenary of no small renown. They say her skill with the polearm had to be seen to be believed. Dude, I could tell she's a baddie. Of Ishgardian birth, she is the highest ranking foreigner in the Immortal Flames, barring the Flame General himself, of course. When he formed the Grand Company, Robon chose people based on their worth. Whence they hailed was of no interest. The Monetera saw things differently, however. Having funded the enterprise, they reserved the right to reject candidates nominated for high-ranking positions. And it was no secret that they did not favor foreigners, Ishgardians especially, after the way the Holy See forsook the Alliance. Yet the Monetarists did not raise so much as a murmur of protest when Royale was appointed to her post. Passing strange, is it not? Could it be that the Ivy has some hold over the Monetarists? But these revelations are secondary to our current mission. Of foremost interest to us is Royale's presence here now. As you may be aware, it is the duty of the Flame Marshal to command the Immortal Flames in the absence of the Flame General. While Robon attended the Council of Alliance Leaders, she should have remained in the Hall of Flames. The woman has no business being in Gridania, yet here she is nonetheless, on some pretense. She is up to something, mark my words. Even as we speak, I have a dozen men trawling the Flames records for evidence of Roa's guilt, thank you. But if we can catch her red-handed, we shall have all the proof we need. Which brings me to the plan. I have people watching the city gates, the airship landing, and the docks. Every point of egress. She cannot leave without our knowledge. All that remains is to shadow her until she betrays her true purpose. Can I rely upon your eyes, Zion? Nod. You have my thanks. Let us go then, and take care not to alert our quarry. What's the response going to be? Nod. Hey, LB. Nowhere to be seen, you say? And you sure she did not board an airship? She did not come back out either. Where in the seven hells could she have gone? She might have gotten a room. The Roost! How could I forget? Peddler, greetings, good sir. Might I interest you in some Mun Toy Tonic? A cup a day and leaves a man with great vigor, if you take my meaning. Perhaps another time, friend. Wait, he's speaking in code. Wait, that necklace. You are a shinobi of Doma. Yeah! The woman you seek has left Gridania by way of West Shore Pier. Dude, the shinobis of Doma. I love them. She was tired as a merchant, but these eyes are not so easily deceived. You may wish to take your search to the East Shroud. Rest assured that we shall continue to support you from the shadows. The Domans, I love them. Thank the 12 for the Domans. Were it not for their unique talents, Roal would have disappeared without a trace. This way, my friends. Yugiri! I feel like it's almost fitting that it's nighttime, just to make the Domans blend in a little bit more. Your quarry makes for the Hawthorn Hut. If Roal is truly the one we seek, we can expect that she means to make contact with her Garlean masters there. An explanation is in order. You are no doubt aware that the Garleans have their own method of communicating over great distances. Well, our ingenious friends at Garland Ironworks have provided us with devices which disrupt these communications, and we have installed them around the city-states. In so doing, we have made it difficult for Imperial agents to correspond with their masters. Roal would thus have no choice but to rendezvous with her Imperial contact directly. Yet, as a well-known face in the Immortal Flames, she cannot move about Thanalan without being recognized. It would only be a matter of time before someone saw through her disguise. 'Tis for this reason I believe that she has chosen the Black Shroud for her clandestine meeting. That's how I used to pronounce it when I was sounding it out loud. Clandestine, but now I know how to say it. The Elezen are a common sight here, and her comings and goings are not like to turn any heads. As my scouts tell it, the Garleans have sent agents with a mind to destroy the devices and render such direct contact unnecessary. Fortunately, our shinobi have thus far been successful in rebuffing their efforts. This is it. We need only make for the Hawthorne's hut and catch Roal in the act. Let's go. Let's go. Get me in on it. Just beyond, Roal is in conversation with an individual clad in the manner of an adventurer, an imperial intermediary, no doubt. This is it, with me! Wait, is this the kid who was supposed to marry Flame Marshal Aline Roal? You are under arrest for treason and espionage? Okay, you're jumping the gun here. You were followed, you bloody fool? Oh, no. Just similar model. Yeah, you're going nowhere, bud. Damnation! You're going nowhere. You're going nowhere. Dude, the Domans, I love them so much. They are so cool. You are unarmed, my lady, and scarcely garbed for battle. But if you wish to fight, you are welcome to try. Alright, Anakin, you will try. What is the meaning of this, Captain? Would you arrest me for strolling in the Twelveswood? When last I looked, that was no crime, and neither was conversing with passing strangers. At night? You would feign ignorance then? Very well. If you do think of something to say, there will be plenty of time to say it later. Now, come quietly, or I shall make you wish you had. Dude, Ilby, I feel like, knows some gnarly torture tactics. I feel like this man's picked up a lot of ways to cause pain. I will offer you no struggle. After all, I have naught to hide. It's the one person she's been communicating with off and on via Link Pro that we like catch glimpses of. Or catch glimpses of the conversation, not of the person. The drip already has me excited. Hello.
Am I right?
Oh, the voice. The voice, the legs. Oh. Uh-huh.
None other. I bid you welcome to Revenant's Toll, and to thank you for traveling so far on such short notice.
Y'all dropping the mommies you already know.
As if I could ever say no to Urianger.
The voice.
Moenbryda is an accomplished Sharlayan scholar, and an authority on aetherite technologies.
Moenbryda? Moenbryda.
She has played an invaluable role in our search for a means to capture Ascian souls.
Oh.
Charmed, I'm sure.
I am absolutely charmed. I am... This is not a semi-charmed kind of life. This is a fully charmed kind of life. Baby, baby. I wonder if that's going to become important later. I feel like it's going to become important later.
Moon! Gods, it's been ages!
Moon.
Oh, longer, sister.
the thighs.
Joyous reunion indeed.
Well, of course it is. Moon and I are like twin sisters.
Save in appearance and aptitude.
Papalymo, hush. Hush.
Everyone, if I could have your attention. We have with us an esteemed guest who has come from Sharlayan to assist us. I bid Moenbryda join us here that she might share with us her extensive knowledge of Aetherites.
Sorry, just like her idle like animation is just like I feel like she's supposed to be breathing based on just the way this stuff is moving, but then you look, well, yeah, okay. It was hard to tell like if like with the color if there was like actual breathing happening, you know? I don't know. It just something was just like a little off, I guess. I'm so sorry.
Also, as many of you are already aware, she has been overseeing our research into white auracite, a sample of which she has been good enough to bring with her.
White auracite, is that what we're kind of like looking at for the capture Ashians? Ashians?
Well, I had to come, didn't I? You'd have to be bloody daft to turn your nose up at a chance like this. Where better to conduct my final tests than a land so steeped in ether you can taste it?
Taste it. Taste it.
'Tis plain the passage of the years hath done little to dampen thy youthful spirits,
Oh, Urianger.
and nothing at all to reform thy youthful manner.
God damn. Oh,
Oriange, where in the hells have you been hiding?
why couldn't it be me?
Unhand me.
That might be one of the best acted lines in all of A Realm Reborn. That might be one of the best acted lines in this entire game.
I come all this way, and that's what you have to say to me. I much preferred when you were pleading with me to drop everything and hurry to your side. What was it you said? None save thee can satisfy this need.
Urianger, you dog.
Thine artless attempts to misrepresent mine all too innocent motives do thee little credit.
None save thee can satisfy thy needs.
Mine intent, as well thou knowest, was but to impress upon thee the gravity of the circumstance. Lest thou doubt, a deiform entity shall shortly be summoned, save if thou and no other grantest my compeers thine aid.
You still haven't found it then, your missing Aetherite?
We have not. No.
That is why you're here.
We know that Iceheart teleported to an Aetherite not far from the first. Yet even after careful analysis, we could not locate the second beacon. We now suspect that the heretics destroyed the second Aetherite to impede our pursuit. Our allies continue to scour Snowcloak for Iceheart's sanctuary, but we have no guarantee that they will find it. Yet it must be found, for even now Iceheart prepares to call upon Saint Shiva.
I'm sorry, but if the Aetherite's been destroyed, then that's that. Although, you're absolutely sure she used the first Aetherite, are you? She didn't just use teleportation magics?
I mean, she walked up to it, touched it, and teleported, it looked like.
One of our own bore witness to her escape. I can say with absolute certainty that Iceheart used the Aetherite.
Everyone's looking at me. They looked at me. And I looked at
In
her.
that case, there might be a way, so long as the ethereal current is still flowing.
Truly? How?
We use the current to recreate the beacon.
Oh?
As you know, Aetherites are a bit like lighthouses. We use them
course.
to reconstitute our physical forms when crossing the ethereal sea. Without them, we'd lose all sense of direction and our essence would dissipate.
Oh.
However, we don't rely solely on these beacons. There are currents of ether which flow between them, currents which help guide us to our destination.
Kind of like the hyperspace routes in Star Wars. I'm getting a little nerdy on y'all.
Now, these currents will gradually dwindle away to nothing if an Aetherite is destroyed. But if even a sluggish flow remains, we could theoretically use it to direct a surge of concentrated ether towards the void left by the beacon, and thereby fill it up again.
Or maybe more like the Mass Effect. I forget what they're called, but the Mass Effect relays.
Like opening the floodgates to fill a dry riverbed. Though, correct me if I'm wrong, but would we not need a veritable reservoir of ether?
In concert, we might manage to channel a sufficient volume, yet that is not my chief concern. To direct the flow of so great a volume of ether with the requisite precision would be a nigh impossible task in itself.
I barely succeeded in facilitating travel to an unattuned beacon. That which you describe sounds considerably more difficult.
That's right, Y'shtola did do that for the Titan stuff, and she fucking killed it.
And dangerous. Every person who has attempted to teleport in this fashion has died in the process. They, however, did not have white aura sight at their disposal.
It's like, well, this is comforting. Cool.
I can use it to channel all the ether you can give me into the Aetherite. However, white aura sight cannot retain ether for an extended period of time, so we would need to infuse it immediately beforehand.
Fun.
Just so you know, I'd confidently give this plan better than even odds of success. And if the worst comes to worst, your people won't suffer.
Bad things happen, they just won't suffer. It's so
Don't
comforting.
risk the lives of our best and brightest. We have not the time to seek other options. If
Yeah.
the ethereal current still flows, we shall carry out Moenbryda's plan.
We can't just ask, like, Sid to borrow his airship to just, like, fly over to the western part of Kurthus. What's that? Too
That's the
much.
spirit. Let's roll the dice.
I guess it's in the tunnels, probably, but, you know, whatever. Roll the dice. Gotta hope it's a natural 20. Hold on, I have a dice. Let me roll it, see what the success is going to be. It's a 10. It's not looking good. It's like, as Gimli said, small chance of success, certainty of death. What are we waiting for? That's so cool. Coco Power Rangers. Do-do-do-do. There, it's ready. This is pretty cool. Huh, it works. I think. Try attuning to the ether right now. Feel for the current and try to locate the beacon. Trust in the force. We've done all we can to work. For now, let us withdraw. When your final preparations are complete, you must seek out the beacon we have created. If by the grace of the 12 you arrive safely, you must stop Iceheart before she summons Shiva. The eyes. Right there. first off, this area, so cool. Incredible. Milady.
You should never have come here, warrior of light. I labor only to forge a lasting peace.
The voice.
A peace you would deny us out of ignorance and blind faith. No matter. If it is our fate to be at odds, then it is mine to strike you down. We whom gods and men have forsaken shall be the instruments of our own deliverance. Partake of my flesh. Fill this vessel with your light. Walk amongst your brothers and sisters once more.
Hold up.
Oh, Saint Shiva, still the hatred within our hearts and bless us with eternal grace.
Hello. So she became Shiva? Oh my God, I support women's wrongs. Oh. She was... Mommy, I'm so sorry. This is going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt me. Hey, Alexa, play Hailstorm. That seems bad. All right, come with me, Mommy. Oh. I love this music. Wait. Embrace the serenity, renounce the hatreds that consume you. This is so pretty. Scatter them like dust in the wind. Hello? The music! Dude, that music's so good. I need that full song. I'm sorry, Mommy. Oh! I thought she would just be yeeted there at that point in time. This zone is really incredible. This arena is dope. Not only with the circle, but like the amphitheater of the stands of it all, the ice, the auroras. This is so cool. This is a really, really dope area. I love this. Is probably one of my favorite areas to fight in.
Fool. Blind, bloody fool.
I do feel bad. Because I feel like she has probably a really good cause.
You, of all people, should understand the suffering war begets. That no sacrifice is too great if it brings an end to the violence. Mine is the righteous cause.
I really like her.
You fight in a war you do not understand. A pawn of liars and schemers. And they are no less ignorant than you, following the creed of their fathers without question, never thinking to ask why.
To be fair, I did ask why the other day. I did ask why the fight was going on. I'm so sorry. Continue.
Trapped in a delusion of their own creation and blind to the truth.
This is the music right now, and like this snow, but is it snow or is it just like prismatic? Is it ether? I don't know, but it's beautiful.
Warrior of light, redemption is not beyond us. We who walk before may lead those who walk after. Seek the keeper of the lake. See with eyes unclouded.
Keeper of the Lake, that's for, like, Midgard some more.
Do not squander a mother's gift.
Huh? Wait.
Feel. Think.
Huh? So many chills right now. Hold up. Hold up.
And so the vessel withdraws. A predictable outcome.
The voice just sounds slimy, and then look at those, like, sideburns this dude's rocking. Alright. I already don't like you.
Nevertheless, La Habrea will be pleased. How unfortunate.
There he is, and none the worse for wear. Was there ever any doubt that the Warrior of Light would succeed? I don't know, how nervous were all of you? I think I speak for us all when I say that I should like nothing more than to hear the stirring tale of your victory, if you would be so kind. Well. Then we were too late to prevent the summoning. But not too late to prevent further loss of life, an outcome worthy of celebration. And one for which we have Twerk to thank. Yes, you are right, of course, Sir Emmerich. We should be content with what we have accomplished. I, for one, could not have wished for a better outcome. Shiva is no longer a threat, and the heretics have been routed. Aye, there is the matter of Iceheart's escape, but she cannot run forever. Whether it takes days, weeks, moons, or even years, my knights will find her. I find it interesting that they have said she has escaped this time and the first time we saw her, but like really just the vibes I was getting is that we just let her go both times. I feel like we very easily could have, if we so desired as the character, to yeet her, but I feel like we definitely chose not to. And I'm grateful for that. I like to think that. In the meantime, Lord Drillmont, is the caravan ready? The supplies that your men recovered have been prepared for transport in accordance with your wishes. Rest assured that my knights will see them safely to Revenant's Toll. Of that, I have no doubt. I take it these are the self-same supplies the heretics stole from the House Fortome caravan? Less the crystals which comprise the bulk of the shipment, yes. Scarcely a fraction of that which was promised, but a meaningful contribution to your cause all the same. Yeah. Oh, on an unrelated note, Twerk, might I trouble you to accompany to Camp Dragonhead at your earliest convenience? It's just not for my benefit. A certain lord was most distressed when he learned of your intent to risk life and limb to stop Iceheart. It took half a dozen knights to restrain him, I'm told. Orshafont. Dude's a homie. Men give vent to their anxieties in myriad ways. Pray do not think less of him. I don't. I think more of him. Orshafont's a homie. What were you thinking, Twerk? Oh, he's mad. Wagering your very being on a dubious theory which might allow you to enter Iceheart's lair, knowing full well that she could have sufficient forewarning to complete her ritual to summon Shiva anyway? And then engaging the Abomination in mortal combat. Well, Abomination's a little harsh. She's pretty hot. You should have seen her for yourself, Orshi. By the fury, Twerk, 'tis the stuff of ballads. A battle for the ages. Would that I had been there to fight by your side. Yet here I was forced to wait, condemned to wonder at the fate of a dear friend for a veritable eternity. I love him. I would not wish such torture on my most hated enemy. But you are here now, and that is what truly matters. Let us move on. Sir Amric wished to have words with you and Master Alfie in private. He awaits us in the intercessory. I like Orshi. I like Orshifont very much.
On behalf of the Holy See of Ishgard, allow me to express my deepest thanks. Never before have we been required to contend with a primal. Indeed, there were fears in some quarters that our knights might not be equal to the task.
They probably aren't equal to the task. That's why you have me.
From what we have now learned of these beings, I can say with certainty that we would have lost a great many men had the Scions not intervened.
You're welcome. Happy to work together.
Then the argument for preemptive action should be self-evident. Perchance now you will reconsider my proposal that Ishgard move against Nautalon.
Nautalon, the new emperor of Garlemald.
Ere we first met, a similar proposal was tabled, but the Holy See decreed that we were to observe, and that military action should be taken only in self-defense.
Yeah, but we have a pretty good feeling that the Holy See, the Archbishop, is under some Asian influence.
All things considered, it was not an unreasonable decision. Since the calamity, 2 vigils have fallen to the Horde, while Garuda has never shown any inclination to storm the gates of judgment.
2 vigils have fallen to... Oh, it's Stone Steel. Yeah. The Horde being Dravania.
Which is why this unprecedented crisis and its resolution may prompt a change in policy.
Oh,
You who have faced these primals know well the threat they pose. Ishgard did not. Not until now.
Yeah.
And there is naught like a brush with death to change a man's outlook.
Yeah.
At the very least, this should silence any lingering objections to our arrangement with Revenant's Toll. The Holy See may even feel moved to grant us its formal endorsement.
So far as it is possible, the Scions shall be compensated for their service.
Okay.
We should be grateful for any aid you can provide.
Yeah.
As a gesture of good faith, I shall withdraw my previous request. Your people are doubtless needed elsewhere.
You know what? Can we look into that one, Alfie?
That will not be necessary.
Yeah.
We too have a vested interest in watching Dravania's movements.
Yeah.
I see. Once more, I must thank you.
Yeah.
Sir Emmerich, if I may, do you truly believe that Midgard Zomer could return?
Midgard Zomer? That's interesting. Okay, I'm not sure. I keep forgetting the pronunciation.
The heavens are a window unto truth, but those who interpret their movements are not infallible. I requested your involvement as a precautionary measure.
But of course, you sought an excuse to compensate us from the first, mindful of what would happen if Revenant's Toll were taken by your enemies. Ishgard is not wont to aid its neighbors, but that does not preclude it from manipulating them to serve its own interests.
Choose your next words carefully.
Oh, she has good voice acting. But also, you
Do you
can't
know
stop me.
what sort of man becomes Lord Commander of the Temple Knights? One who comes from good stock. I did not. Yet here I am. Now, why do you suppose that is?
Probably because you're good at what you do, bud.
Because I swiftly learned to tell the difference between words, deeds, and beliefs. You are correct, Master Leveilleur. Ishgard desires to see Revenant's Toll flourish, as it would present a troublesome obstacle to our enemies from the south.
It's fair. Yeah.
We are so glad to be of use to you.
Alfie.
As we are to you. Ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement, lest we forget. One born of necessity.
Alfie, don't be so angsty.
The dragons grow more restless by the day, and the heretics harry us nigh without cease. We have contended with such troubles for centuries, but there are limits to even our endurance. Yet as a pauper is loath to part with his meager possessions, the leaders of Ishgard are not wont to render up their trust to outsiders.
Mm-hmm.
But with perseverance on our part, they may yet be made to see the light.
Mm-hmm.
Nevertheless, one must take care when walking the road less traveled.
That's the name of the quest, I think. Yeah?
Wise words, Sir Emmerich. I shall make a point to remember them.
Mm-hmm.
I must apologize for my earlier outburst. I hope it will not sour our good relations.
He's still such a boy. He's a teenager.
Not at all. You but spoke from the heart. I trust you understand that at times my duties may prevent me from meeting with you. On such occasions, my second-in-command will speak for me.
Please.
Lucia, at your service.
Lucia. You wanna go grab dinner sometime? I don't know. Nice bottle of wine.
Pray
Sorry.
excuse
Sorry.
our reticence.
Sorry.
We are but wary of speaking too freely, lest our sentiments be made known to our enemies.
I'm so sorry.
Know that the Lord Commander and I are of one mind. For the sake of Ishgard, and of Eorzea at large, I pray our peoples can put aside their differences.
I like that we can get some straightforwardness here.
Those who dwell in the past risk losing sight of their future.
Yep.
Should aught befall one of our shipments, pray inform Lucia immediately. You may also relay to her any words you might have for me alone. Not being of Ishgardian birth, she owes no allegiance to any noble house, making her as near to incorruptible as one can find in my homeland. Suffice it to say, I trust her completely, and so may you. Which reminds me, Lord Orchefort, if you would be so kind.
Uh-huh.
Certainly.
Uh-huh.
In times such as these, trust is ever in short supply. Mayhap this will go some way to rectify the problem. The results of our investigation into the heretics' recent attacks, as well as our interrogation of the merchant you detained.
Sir Emmerich, I cannot thank you enough.
Oh.
Think nothing of it. Ishgard may be many things, but it is no friend to Garlemald.
Oh.
Did I not tell you to have faith, my friend?
Oh, Orchefort. Oh, my lady. My lady.
Words cannot well express how glad I am to see you return to us hale and whole.
Hale and whole.
Needless to say, I am most eager to hear your account of that which occurred in Kurthis, assuming you're ready to speak of it.
Yeah. You see.
Excellent. I shall summon the others at once.
Oh, group effort? Cool, yeah. Better than me having to repeat it. Iceheart, hot. Shiva, hot. They became one? Transformation?
Iceheart used her own body as a vessel for a primal soul?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna go with. Okay, cool.
Master Louisoir's writings make no mention of such a possibility. Can we be certain this entity was a primal?
I mean, crystals and prayer were used to summon, so...
As certain as we can be that good King Mogglmog the 12th was a primal, I should think. Both were ostensibly summoned.
Yep.
Let's not quibble over definitions. Of more concern is the implication that Iceheart retained her will, even after she was possessed.
Yeah.
We are talking about a mortal, wielding the power of a primal.
Does she still have that power?
It can't possibly be that easy, can it? There must be some sort of sacrifice required. Or maybe she's just special?
Maybe she's just special and blessed by Hydaelyn, Mother Crystal.
What qualities this woman possesseth, I know not, but full sure am I that she was groomed for this role.
I'm just saying. Hear, feel, think makes me think that Mother Crystal is kind of involved a little bit there.
Few are privy to the secrets of summoning, and but a single party standeth to profit from their dissemination.
Well, I wouldn't presume to comment on how the lass came to know about summoning, but I will say that what she summoned was a primal. The readings were the same, or near as damn it. Strange as it all sounds, it's really no different from what you've faced before.
Mm-hmm.
Then mayhap it is time that we re-examined our previous encounters.
Not a bad idea.
Oh, pack your things, Ida. We're going back to Gridania.
Yes, sir.
About Iceheart's final words to you.
Yeah?
Hear, feel, think.
Uh-huh.
Hydaelyn speaks to her as well.
Yes. Nuts.
If Iceheart is blessed with the power of the Echo, she will doubtless have used it to further her goals. Or could it be that it was a revelation granted her by the Echo which first set her on this path?
Ooh.
She did say that the Ishgardians were blind to the truth.
That, I didn't think about that. I didn't think about her having the Echo, but that would make a lot of sense. That she saw something, and that was it.
Do you think she has knowledge of the origins of the Ishgardian-Dravanian War? It would do much to explain her unwavering conviction.
Yeah.
Did not the Lady Iceheart implore thee to seek the Keeper of the Lake? And did she not imply that in so doing thou wouldst come to see with eyes unclouded?
Yeah, I feel like who or whatever this Keeper of the Lake, we're gonna get like an Echo vision there too.
Midgard-Zoma was a king amongst kings who reigned for centuries on end. But he is dead and his wisdom lost to the ages. Unless the Ishgardians' fears are well-founded. It would seem we have yet another reason to stand watch over the Keeper of the Lake. For a mercy, we are well positioned to do so. Iceheart, Shiva, Ascians, and Midgard-Zoma. I shudder to think how they're all connected.
This wretch was with Ryu. He threw himself at us that his mistress might escape. She didn't blink when we cut him down, not even when he started screaming. No loyalty even to her own, the god's damned harpy? Fit. With me, Scion, we almost have her. Yo. Gasp. Pant. Bind her and do it tight. Yes, sir. Good work, men. She and her Imperial cronies pushed us close, but we were better. Behold, a respected officer of the Immortal Flames, people looked up to you as one of the Order's founding members, one of its pillars. It saddens me to see you fallen so low. What would you know of low? You, a spoiled little lordling who has never known any want. I. People such as you take wealth and birth for granted. You think it your God's given right to rule over others. You know not of our plight, the injustice that we low-born Ishgardians must endure. To the noble lords and ladies, we are not people but resources to be consumed. I did what I had to do to survive, stealing, killing, even whoring myself. It is no fault of mine if fools imagined me a paragon when I joined the flames. To hear you tell it, one would think you the only person ever to have suffered. In case you have forgotten, Raban himself was born into poverty, as was I. We lived hand to mouth with little more than the shirts on our backs. Hunger was our constant companion. You never Yet never did we bemoan our lot in life, nor did we begrudge others their fortunes. We accepted the hand that we had been dealt and played it to the best of our ability. Life was a battle, aye, but no matter what fate threw at us, we took it on the chin and came back for more. Everything we have, we fought for. How are we any different then? It is true that we were both mercenaries of lowly birth. It is true that we both had our fair share of struggles. But whereas I sold my sword, you, Marshal, you sold your comrades. If life has taught me one thing, is that you never betray your own. I would sooner cut off my own arm than raise a hand against a friend. But enough talk. You will return to Ul'dah to face justice, and the people whose trust you have dragged through the gutter.
I've heard. Truly bothersome business.
Teleji.
No, I do not foresee a problem on that front. The main concern is Roban. There is no telling what the brute might do. Have the blades watch him in the flames day and night. You may leave the Sultana to me. I shall personally attend her grace.
You stay away from Nanamo.
Sever one of the East Aldenard trade routes. That ought to keep Lolorito occupied for a while. Nanamo Ulnamo. For my sake, pray be a good little Sultana to the last.
I hate the. He gives me so much ick. He gives me so much ick.
Welcome back, my friend. I have already received word from Alfino.
Voice acting, I love it.
To think that Flame Marshal Huayu was the Garlean agent. I know not what to say.
I'm so glad we finally get to hear Ryu's name. It's been so long since we've been involved in this quest, and we have not heard it yet, so appreciate it.
Together with Robon, Eileen lent us much needed aid at the time of our order's founding. She was particularly passionate about the need to tackle the primal threat.
Interesting.
When we discussed the subject, her eyes fairly shone with determination. Whatever else she may have been, I choose to believe that it was her true self with whom I spoke then.
Well, the Empire is definitely like, fuck them primals. They definitely do not like them, so it makes sense there.
But now is not the time to dwell on such matters.
Yeah.
I have an important announcement to make regarding our effort to defeat the Asians. We shall begin as soon as everyone is assembled.
Ooh, uh-huh. Yeah?
My thanks for coming, friends. Moenbryda, the floor is yours.
Ooh, uh-huh. It's a white
By
auracite.
now, I'm sure you're all familiar with white auracite, the miraculous material that'll allow us to capture Asian souls.
Okay, alright. You didn't actually say that before, but now we're familiar with it, now that you actually vocalize it. Well, that was the assumption, but you know.
Back at Snowcloak, we verified its ability to absorb vast amounts of ether. Alas, it leaves something to be desired in the area of stability. The stone can only store ether for a short while before expelling its contents.
In addition to auracite's inherent limitations, we must needs be wary of our enemy's strength. Our foe draweth upon an infinite wellspring of power. Even should we succeed in entrapping him, the stone will not long contain his wrath.
Yeah.
Meaning that, if we want to kill the swine, we'll have to be quick about it.
'Tis our belief that an Asian soul may be permanently undone, if smitten by a sufficiently concentrated burst of pure ether.
And how difficult is it to do that?
The only trouble is, we can't say for sure how concentrated the burst needs to be. Without knowing how much ether an Asian soul is composed of, we're basically guessing.
Lovely.
Our sole clue lieth in thy struggle with La Habrea.
Bruh.
During that encounter, Heidelin bid you forge what she called a Blade of Light, a weapon which took the form of a luminous stream of energy.
And it was really cool, too.
Based on your description, we believe the blade with which you vanquished your foe was composed of ether. Admittedly, your victory proved ephemeral, as La Habrea was able to use a crystal of darkness to flee into the space that lies between our world and the void. The fact remains, however, that Heidelin placed the means to destroy the Ascians in your hands. Be that as it may, it would be unwise to assume that she will do the same when we next encounter such a foe.
Quite so, my lady. We must needs find the means to forge our own blade of ether. One to equal that which Heidelin did benevolently bestow upon her champion.
That is all well and good, but it seems to me that producing such a blade will require a prodigious quantity of ether. Whence will it come, pray tell?
Pray tell. I love his voice.
Oh, what if we had 2 pieces of white auricite? One to trap the Ascian, and the other to store the ether for the blade.
But, like, you gotta put all that ether into the second piece, like, pretty soon before that happens, or else you're just gonna lose it.
Oh, nice try. But it's as I said, the stone won't hold ether for any length of time.
See?
We'd still need to collect the stuff there and then, sorry to say.
I can be a Charlian scholar, too.
And therein lies the rub. Finding a way to create the blade whenever and wherever we choose.
It would seem more research is in order.
Yep.
I'm going to linger a while, perform a few more tests on the auricite. And I could do with some help. Urianger, why don't you lend me a hand?
Yeah, Urianger.
Mine apologies, but I am required at the Waking Sands.
Oh, come on!
Lady Minfilia hath given me sole charge of the premises. 'Twould be unseemly to leave them unattended.
Sole charge, you say? So you're basically alone there, then? Well, that settles it. I'll just have to come to you.
I love her.
While you were afield, word arrived from the Charlian motherland.
Oh?
You will recall that a survey party was dispatched to investigate the incident at the Isle of Vow. What they discovered was troubling, to say the least.
Yeah?
According to the report, the Isle has been erased from existence. 'Twas as if a hole had been torn in the very fabric of reality.
So not quite Alderaan.
Aye. Yet the mystery endeth not with the Isle's disappearance. It hath come to light that a number of scholars in various other locales were reported missing at a similar juncture.
So they were somehow teleported to like a different plane or something?
What's more, they all had something in common with the head of the students of Baldessian. Every last one of them was researching a phenomenon called dimensional compression, or the rejoining as the ancient texts call it. I'll be damned if that's a coincidence.
All indications suggest Ascian involvement.
Yep.
But I sense that a force greater still is at work. The entity the Dark Beings call the One True God.
Zoidberg.
We must pray that my dear friend Kryl regains consciousness soon. If she bore witness to the Isle of Val's final moments, she may be able to shed some light on this mystery.
I didn't do that. Oh well. Hello? Uh-huh.
Following the calamity, the forces of the 14th Imperial Legion entrenched themselves in strategic locations across Eorzea. So swiftly did they accomplish this, it was suspected that they had received help. To think that it came from Huayu, my right hand.
Okay, so we have Minfilia saying Ryu, and we got Raban saying Huayu. Alright, cool.
There is more.
We have reason to believe that Huayu didn't deal exclusively with the 14th. She also answered to a higher authority in Garlemald.
So okay. All right. I know y'all said yesterday that everyone pronounced it a little bit differently. Yeah, y'all are right. Ryu, Huayu, and Wayu. All right, so we're up to 3 now.
But this higher authority could not have been the Emperor. By consenting to the media project, Solus Zos Galvus showed himself to be more concerned about preventing the spread of primal influence than claiming Eorzea for the Empire. He would happily have seen the lot reduced to ash.
So she answered someone high up, but not at the very, very top.
We believe a number of high-ranking figures within the royal household were against the decision, but that they knew better than to oppose the Emperor openly. Of course, this didn't prevent them from making clandestine provisions, in which Huayu played a part.
I mean, it could potentially be, I guess, like the new Emperor, since he's very dead set on Eorzea annexation, so it could be him playing that long
Alas, these provisions did not prevent Dalamud from falling, and the ensuing chaos changed the face of the realm forever. Yet Eorzea survived. To all intents and purposes, the Meteor Project had failed, and the Empire was left to rue its lack of a decisive means to eliminate the primals. Until, that is, it stumbled upon the Ultima weapon.
Yeah.
Even before the accursed thing was dug up, it seemed to me the 14th had the might to overwhelm our weakened armies. Yet they chose to hide behind their walls. Why?
Oh.
The Black Wolf was wary of making the denizens of Eorzea desperate, lest more primals emerge to bleed the land.
It's fair.
The discovery of the Ultima weapon, however, emboldened him to resume his war of conquest in earnest.
But there was one in Garlemald who believed that Van Belsar's actions were premature. One who stood higher in the Imperial Army's chain of command. He ordered the Legatus to halt his advance, only to find that the Black Wolf had slipped its leash, and that the 14th now acted alone.
Ooh.
In a bid to bring Van Belsar to heel, he used the agent he had planted in Ul'dah prior to the Calamity to undermine the Legion's efforts.
Oh, interesting.
A man who outranks Van Belsar, yet opposed the late Emperor's decision to annihilate Eorzea. This could only be the former High Legatus of the Garlean army, now known as Emperor Varus Zos Galvus.
Called it. Of course, also, I'm very limited on my information, so, I just drew the one conclusion I could make there.
So he was Huayu's true master.
But one of several in actual fact. We've learned that even as Huayu served the Empire's interests, she sold Imperial secrets to a certain faction in Eorzea.
Uh-huh.
In so doing, she helped to maintain the status quo, thus prolonging the conflict. Considering who stands to profit from war, it isn't hard to imagine who her other masters were.
7 hells! You mean to say that she was a double agent?
Triple, if you consider her services to Van Belsar and the new Emperor as separate.
The plot thickens.
As neatly as these pieces seem to fit, one aspect of the puzzle remains unclear to me. By whose will was the Marshal feeding intelligence to the heretics? Try as I might, I fail to see how aiding their cause would profit either her Imperial or monetarist masters.
I feel like it would aid the Imperial Masters, because by helping the heretics, that really keeps Ishgard off keeps them on their toes. And so that would just keep them almost like unstable enough for the Empire to do whatever.
Could it be that another hand is at work here? If so, Huayu must be made to reveal whose it is.
Or it could be somebody else. I don't know. That's a conclusion that makes sense to me.
Not only have I lost a trusted friend, now I must interrogate her as a stranger.
Not a pleasant task, I grant you, but a necessary one. Unless we weed out the ivy, root, stalk, and stem, it will simply grow back.
Oh, Ilberd, you and your ivy analogy.
I know that full well. Those closest to Huayu have already been detained, and I will question them alongside her.
General, pray keep in mind that there may be unwitting abettors among them.
All will be treated fairly. On that you have my word. Those who are innocent have no cause to fear.
Maybe.
You have ever been a friend of truth, General. I hope the unpleasant task of weeding out falsehood will not detain you too long. Though it be for the sake of Eorzea, doubting one's comrades is poison to the soul.
Yeah.
And with that, I take my leave.
All these years, I've been made to dance to their tune. How could you, Huayu? How could you side with them? Those cankers who take from this land and give naught in return, who use their power to disempower and grow fat while the people starve. I know you can hear me, monitorous scum. Your crimes will not go unpunished.
Yeah.
Day purge this land of your sickness before the eyes of the 12. I swear it.
Yeah. Eat the rich. Let's fucking go, Raban.
I shall have no further need of you this day,
What a cute little room.
Your Grace. I fear that not even mine own chambers shall remain private for long.
Has the situation grown so grim?
Hello?
Ever since he proposed the Cardinal Reclamation Bill, Teleji Adeleji has risen to greater prominence upon the backs of impoverished refugees. The Monetarists were ever united in their pursuit of profit, but the man's actions have torn a rift in their ranks. They snap at each other as rabid dogs. Yet now is not the time to be bickering among ourselves.
If this bickering is a threat to law and order, might you not have grounds to dissolve the syndicate?
Yeah, can we just get rid of them?
Would that the solution were so simple, Admiral. Alas, my moving to dissolve the syndicate is certain to spark outrage among the influential merchant class, whom the Cabal represents. This would serve to exacerbate the current unrest, and peace would slip still further away.
Can never be that simple.
Be they rich or poor, natives or refugees, all who reside in Ul'dah have a right to pursue happiness. It is the duty of a ruler to protect this right.
Nanamo, I adore you.
If I am to perform my duty, I must needs tread warily. It would not do to make enemies heedlessly. Were Lord Lolorito here, he would doubtless say that I have my head in the clouds.
A ruler is required to take a wide view. Try as we might to cater to all needs, some will inevitably be overlooked. As such, there shall ever be citizens who feel aggrieved. It cannot be helped.
True.
But as you have informed us, the Monetarists take no view but their own. They hunger for power while the masses starve. In the absence of a common cause, it seems beyond any one individual to make Ul'dah whole.
And the presence of a Garlean agent within the Immortal Flames only makes matters worse. Even accounting for Ul'dah's historic reliance upon mercenaries, such a grievous breach of security is unprecedented. I fear this business will provide the Monetarists with a rod to beat Raban.
Eorzea can ill afford for the Immortal Flames to be dampened now. Ere long, the Garleans will turn their ravenous gaze toward our lands once more. If we are to resist their might, our nations must stand together. Yet for this to happen, our nations must be whole. Cannot be done to improve the situation in Ul'dah.
assassinations. Just pick off a few of these higher up monetarists. Then it's not like you dissolve the syndicate yourself. They just, oh no. It just so happens. Assassinations.
The true wealth of Uldar lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her citizens.
That too.
Alas, the citizens shall never know these things, so long as their lives are ruled by the ambitions of the few. The monetarists claim to represent the best interests of the people, but in sooth they desire only to manipulate them for their own selfish ends.
Yeah, assassinate them.
For the government to serve the people, it must be formed of the people.
For the people, by the people.
For Uldar to move forward, it is not only the syndicate that must be dissolved.
Whoa.
Nay, you jest.
My
Nanamo.
friends, it was for no other reason than to make known to you mine intent that I requested your presence here. When I make my declaration to the people, chaos shall inevitably ensue.
Oh, Nanamo.
As the last monarch in the line of Ul, I make unto you this request. Help Roban to preserve order and protect the people. Forsake them, and you forsake yourselves. For a strong Eorzea will ever have need of a strong Uldar.
Nanamo.
Your Grace, are you certain of this?
There is no other way. When the time is ripe, the nation shall become a true republic. Both royalists and monetarists shall cease to be. Uldar will no longer belong to kings or queens or merchant princes, but to her people.
Damn.
Roban, forgive me for casting aside all that you have toiled for in my name. Beyond this gesture, I am powerless to help my subjects.
She just wants to do right by her people, and I love her so much for that. It's not an easy decision to make. Oh, man.